Hello and welcome everyone, and here as you can see on the screen we are on part 2 of verb agreement, right? We have done part 1 of verb agreement prior to this in the session, okay, and I hope that you guys have gone through it, you have revised it, you have done it. If not, I would request you guys to go for the same, to first complete the concept of part 1 and then jump to part 2. All right, that is important for all of us. Now, so when you go for verb agreement, see, verb agreement is a topic wherein the subject and the verb have to agree accordingly. Like, let's say the verb is singular if the subject is singular and the verb is plural if the subject is plural. This is the major concept that we need to work on. We had already discussed this. Few concepts that were left, we are going to complete it now. Let's start with the session for today. And as you can see, it is so clearly written that subjects and verbs must agree in number. Okay, they have to agree in number. As I said, that if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular too. Now, for example, I have taken a sentence. She writes every day. Now, when I say she writes every day, she is one, that is singular subject, and writes is also a singular verb for me. Now, if the subject is singular, the verb must be singular, follows the concept here. Second point is, if the subject is plural, the verb must also be plural, which means there should be proper symmetry. Okay, they have to align with each other. You cannot miss or skip the concept. Now, here in the example, I have taken my subject as they. Now, when I say they write every day, write is a plural subject, plural verb that I have to satisfy my plural subject, which is they. Right? Now, when I say they write every day, I can also say the children write every day, kids write every day, right? Because write is my plural verb, I can have my subject to be plural. Remember one thing, that if I write, she write every day, for example, if I take, then I will not be changing my subject. See, verb is placed according to the subject. We don't place subject according to the verb. The verb has to match the subject. That is what is important. Okay? So this is the basic concept. This is the starter to this entire concept, that is verb agreement. Okay? Let's look at the next point for you today. Now, when the subject of the sentence is composed of two or more nouns or pronouns connected by and, use a plural verb. If you remember, concept of and was done in basic grammar concepts. We did this concept of and I told you, when we have two subjects connected by and, if you join two subjects using and, okay, it can be two, it can be more, that is up to you. But if you are connecting two or more nouns or pronouns by and, you have to make use of a plural verb. Okay, the verb has to be plural in form. Now let's look at the example. We will get it straight up. Okay, now let's look at the example, guys. First example says the doctoral student and the committee members write every day. Why write every day? Because this has to be plural. See, verbs without s or es are plural. Verb with s or es are singular. Okay, now doctoral student and the committee members, this and here is joining this subject and this subject. Now when these two are joined, combined together, they are giving us plural sense, and we have to use a plural verb. Write every day. Another example that I have taken is, let's have a look. The percentage of employees who call in sick. The percentage of employees who call in sick and the number of employees who left their jobs within 2 years are reflective of level of job satisfaction, which means they reflect the level of job satisfaction. Why am I using are here and not is? Because this and here is joining this part and the next part here. The number of employees who left their jobs within 2 years and the percentage of employees who called in sick. Alright, now both the ways I have used plural verb, because if you are joining with an, it has to take a plural verb. Now here this is done. The concept, this number one concept, connecting by and, is done. You have to make use of plural verb. Let's move ahead. And for you today, I have this now. Now I have written the concept, but I have also given and drafted a pattern for you to follow it. Okay, so that it becomes easier for you to follow the pattern and to retain it for long. So that, okay, when a phrase comes between, see, phrase comes between the subject and the verb. Okay, this is my subject, this is my verb. I have used them in bold. Okay, this is my subject, this is my verb. When a phrase comes between, now see, phrase, how to identify a phrase? A phrase generally, guys, begins with a preposition or a prepositional phrase. Okay, it generally begins with a preposition. Now as you can see, with or as well as, okay, they tell us that the phrase has started. From here the phrase has already started, and phrase ends just before the verb, and phrase ends just before the verb. So this is our phrase. This is our phrase. Now let's read it again. When a phrase comes between the subject and the verb, remember that the verb still agrees with the subject, which means the verb will agree with the subject itself and not the noun or pronoun in the phrase, which means we don't have to worry about this part or this part. The verb will agree with the subject itself, which means the student as well as the committee members is excited because of student, Similarly, the student with all the master's degrees is very motivated, again is because of student. So when the subject is singular, you can use a singular verb. You don't have to worry about the noun or pronoun in the phrase. And when the subject is plural, you will be using a plural verb here. Alright, now look at the pattern that I've given. Subject 1 plus phrase with subject 2. Subject 1 with phrase with subject 2. See, this was the phrase and there is a subject 2 here in the phrase. Okay. Verb according to subject 1. You don't have to worry. The verb has to be according to subject 1. You just keep this pattern in mind and forget everything else. You don't have to worry about the verb, the subject in the phrase. Okay, just work on the concept that is given here. Just follow this pattern that is given here. Now let's move on to the next concept, and the next concept says, when two or more singular nouns or pronouns are connected by or nor, use a singular verb. It's simple. It is simple. See, this we have or. What does or nor do? Or nor give you a choice, which means either the A or B. which means you can pick only one. You can pick only one and not both. Okay. So when or nor give you choice, that is obvious, they are asking you for single choice. Therefore, you will use singular verb with them. So when I say the chairperson or the CEO approves the proposal before proceeding, why approves and not approve? Because approves is the singular verb and approve is a plural verb. Okay. So when you join a sentence using, or when you connect your subjects using or nor, singular verb is used like this. For example, A or B is coming. I don't know who, but either A or B is coming. Okay? This is how when you join by or nor. A or B is coming, or A or B has come. The chairperson or the CEO approves the proposal before proceeding. Let's now move ahead with the very next concept that we have for the day. And we have a pattern written. Subject 1 plus or nor plus subject 2, verb according to the nearest subject which is given here. I just gave you here. This is or nor. So you can go according to the nearest subject also. You don't have to worry much about it. Let's say the student or the committee members. Which is the nearest one? Committee members. Take right, plural verb. If it's or, the committee members or the student writes every day. Now see, what is the difference in this concept and this concept? The difference is, guys, here we were joining singular nouns, chairperson or CEO. We were joining singular nouns. You will always use singular verb. Here, it can be a plural subject, it can be a singular subject. So, if you are joining two subjects using or nor, then the verb will be according to the nearest subject. Now, here, nearest subject is committee members, which is plural in form. Therefore, you are using plural verb write. But here, the nearest subject is student, which is singular in form. Therefore, you will use writes. I will read the sentence again so that there is no confusion. The student or the committee members, plural, write every day, and the committee members or the student writes every day. So that's writes, which is singular, write, which is plural. So we have to bear the pattern in mind. If you have the pattern in mind, nobody can stop you. Nobody. And see, if you keep the pattern in mind and not the entire rule. See, we are here not to know the rules, because if you work on rules, what happens is you are not going for any exam. You're not going to give any exam, competitive exam that you need to cram the rules. No, you are here just for learning speaking, right? So to learn speaking, remember, whenever you're using or nor, you just have to work according to the nearest subject. And see, as of now, if this is for the very first time you're listening to this, you might get conscious. You have to be conscious while using them. Once you get used to it, you don't have to worry about it. It will come naturally. It will then come naturally. Alright? Okay. So let's move ahead. And this is the next concept that we have for you. It says the words each one, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and require a singular verb. This is very simple. There's nothing much to do. It says the words that are given to you here, you don't have to worry about, right? You don't have to worry about the entire pattern or the concept, because this is simple. It is clearly stating the words that are given here, and it says that they are singular in form, therefore we have to use a singular verb with it, right? For example, each of the participants was willing to be recorded. Now, why was? Because I am talking about each, and each is a singular in frame, so it will use a singular verb, that is was. Similarly, neither takes a singular verb, again was. The sentence says neither alternative hypothesis was accepted, again was. See, we cannot say were. Here hypothesis singular, neither itself. See, even if neither, we're not talking about this, we're talking about neither, either, each, everyone, nobody. You use any of these words, they will take singular verb. Wherever you see these words, make sure that you put them into use in singular concept or format. Okay, this is how we have to use them. Now I can also say somebody is knocking on the door, but I will not say somebody are knocking on the door. Okay, or anybody is here, or someone is here or not. So it has to be singular, it cannot be plural. Next concept for the day, guys. See, whatever we are doing is matching the subject with the verb. So you have to be careful, okay? You have to be careful when you work accordingly. Now here, non-count, which means uncountable nouns. Non-count means uncountable nouns. Now, takes a singular verb. Now, uncountable nouns, as I have already told you, since they cannot be counted, we cannot work according to the number, that this is one and then it is many. We cannot work. Uncountable nouns will always take singular verb. For example, I have taken 3 examples. The reason is I want you to understand how do we identify that particular thing is countable or uncountable. Now see, first example says education is the key to success. Now firstly, how do we know that education, diabetes and information are uncountable? See, anything that can be counted on 1, 2 or 3, like so on, they are countable. If I can say 1 education, if I can say 10 diabetes or 5 information, then they are countable. If not, then they are uncountable. I cannot say this. So that is the reason these are uncountable. See, money is uncountable. I cannot say 10 money, but I can say 10 rupees. Okay, I'm counting rupees and not money, guys. And that is the reason we say how much money do you need. We don't say how many money. If it would have been countable, I would have used many with money. But what am I using? I am using much. Right? That is the reason. Now, here, education is the key to success. We are using singular verb again because education is uncountable. Diabetes affects many people around the world. Affects, not affect, because verb with S or ES is singular. Okay? The information obtained from the business owners was relevant. Okay? Was. Again singular because information is singular here. It is uncountable noun. See, if you have to pluralize information, you can say 2 pieces of information, 10 pieces of information, but you cannot say informations. That is wrong. You cannot add S or ES to education or information. That would be utterly wrong. Okay? Now, let's move ahead with this. Next concept says, in sentences beginning with there is or there are, the subject follows the verb. The subject follows the verb. Why? See, is. If I am using there is, it has to be singular. If I am using there are, the subject has to be plural. This is what it is saying. The subject follows the verb. Since there is not the subject, the verb agrees with what follows the verb. Have a look. There is little administrative support. Support, it's uncountable. There is little administrative support, singular verb, because this is uncountable. When I say there are many factors affecting the teacher's retention, factors is plural, I am using are. There are many factors affecting teacher retention. Okay. Now, in the point that has given above, it is saying just a simple thing that there is and there are, the subject follows the verb. If it is, you have to prepare accordingly. The subject would be singular, and if it's are, your subject can be or could be plural. Okay, so this is a concept, and there are many. I generally believe that you people use it often, don't you? Don't we say that there are many people here in the market, or there are many people in the stadium who wish to meet the celebrity. Okay, so people and there are many people, there are many fans, so you can use accordingly, but remember use of there is and are. The moment you put it in use, singular with this and plural with this. So the concept is easy to store. Now keep working on it, guys. This is what I am saying. Important thing is that you frame your own sentences also. Start working on your own sentences. At least 5 to 10 sentence structures of your own. Start drafting. If you're not writing, just start speaking, talking to your own self. If you start talking and speaking to your own self, including these concepts, let's say the moment we have spoken about there is or there are, or about uncountable nouns, start framing your sentences, because the moment you work on it, it sticks or it stays there for longer. Okay, you don't have to worry about whether this will stay with me or not. It will stay for longer if you work on it. If you don't work on it, it will definitely not stay with you, right? So you have to keep on working on it. Let's move on to the next concept for the day, and the next concept says this: scissors, socks, shoes, binoculars, trousers, shorts, etc. are subjects that are singular but seem plural and are used in plural form itself. For example, my trousers are lost. See, scissors, socks, shoes. Though they seem plural, but they exist in pairs. For example, this is the trouser, okay, or this is spectacles, okay. My drawing is a bit tricky, don't worry about it, just bear with. These are spectacles, not my spectacles but someone's spectacles, okay. So they are singular, guys, they are single object, but they seem plural, and since they seem plural, they are used in plural form. I cannot say my trousers is lost, I will say my trousers are lost. Okay, I have to make use of plural verb. The moment I make use of plural verb, what happens? It is not that what happens. It is that these subjects are already, they are by default or by nature plural in form. Okay, so whatever the existence is single object, a single identity, but they take use of plural verb. So we cannot use them with singular verbs, and you cannot remove the s or es. You cannot say scissor. See, this is one common mistake. Where is the scissor? I lost the scissor. I need a scissor. That's wrong. There is nothing as such scissor. You have to make use of scissors. Scissors is what exists and not scissor. Make sure. Scissors. You cannot say trousers, not shorts. Okay, please bear this concept in mind. Let's move ahead. Okay, so this is what I had in store for you for today. I will see you soon in the next session, and we will work on another concept, something new that I will come up with, and we will make sure that we come up with something that is beneficial when it comes to you to work on your communication or language skills. Alright, so I shall see you soon, guys. Thank you so much. Keep learning and keep growing.